A group behind a plan to build golf courses in Jonathan Dickinson State Park in Martin County is withdrawing its proposal. According to the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, the Tuskegee Dunes Foundation, which has ties to golf legend Jack Nicklaus, has submitted a good faith proposal to build a course at the park, but public blowback clearly led to their decision to not follow through with this idea. There were going to be 3 courses on the park, which contains a lot of sensitive land and is in a location near the coast that many people thought was inappropriate for golf courses because of the changes that would need to be made to the landscape to build such facilities.
There are some issues here in Florida, environmental issues, that you just see bipartisan pushback. Oil drilling off the coast, that is a no-go here in Florida, and that comes from Republicans and Democrats. And we are seeing the same exact thing with these state parks. I mean, you've got, obviously Democrats were against it, but the amount of top Republicans in the state who have come out not just against the plan, but forcefully against the plan, who have called on constituents to activate, to let their thoughts be known to prevent this from moving forward. That's what's been so stunning about this. And my prediction is this whole plan, it ain't going to happen.
Oh, no, I don't think it's going to happen at all. There's way too much pushback.
Yeah, on any of these state parks. The lodging, the pickleball courts, the golf course, none of it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when that reversal comes, not if.
So whose idea was this anyway?
We don't know.
That's what I'm wondering, too. Where did it come from? Somebody's got to benefit in some way from this. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, the people that want to build the hotel or the golf course. But how did it get to the point where they're like, yeah, let's do this?
Well, in big pickleball, that industry.
The lobby for
yeah,
pickleball.
The lobby for pickleball. It's huge.
You know, some of these parks, too, are not exactly right around the corner. Okay? You know, it's not like your county park or your city park. Some of them you got to drive.
That's why you need a hotel.
Yeah, well, I guess so. I mean, pickleball in the middle of the Hillsborough River State Park, I mean, that's a long drive up into, you know, a remote area to play pickleball when you can just go down to your YMCA or county rec center.
Yeah, you're missing it, though, Chris. It's so worth it when you can ruin the atmosphere for all the other people who are there
right,
at the
everybody
park.
wants to go for a hike and listen to a pickleball knocking back and forth.
Now, if you're not sure, you know, I think most people have a sense as to what pickleball is at this point. But if you're not 100% sure how it works, we have a video for you on our Instagram. You can follow us at Ryan Gorman Show. It's Dana playing pickleball, and I can assure you, after you watch that video, you still won't know how the game works.
No, you'll know how terrible I am at it, but you won't know how it works.
Yeah, but if you want to see Dana playing pickleball, go to our Instagram. I'm telling you, this video, it's worth your time. You'll get a good laugh out of it. Ryan Gorman Show is where you can check it out.
Yeah, I think that the deal with pickleball is it's fun to play, super annoying to listen to.
Yeah, and that's one of the big complaints. People like to go to these parks. Again, I don't get it. I'm not an outdoorsy person.
I have friends that play pickleball twice a day now. They
Really?
get up, they play in the morning right after they drop the kids off at school, and then they get home from work, and then they play pickleball again.
But just the sound of it. So you didn't really play well when you, but you experienced it.
I hit the ball. I never got it over the net, I don't think, in that video, but I did hit it many times. No, it's loud.
It's loud.
Yeah, it's a racket hitting a ball over and over again.
Yeah, and people, they want to go to these state parks, I guess, for peace and quiet and to be with nature and not to hear pickleball in the background.
Yeah, not to go see a lot of parking lots and paved over areas. We'll see if Governor DeSantis plays hardball on this.
I don't think so. He hasn't said anything about it. I haven't seen any statement from him.
He probably is like backing into the bushes on it now that it was such a flop.
Yeah. But I'd like to know, like, where did this originate from? How did this thing get rolled out the way it did?
Why'd they try to rush it through?
Yeah, and did nobody, ask, like anybody else, other state leaders,
Right.
Hey, what do you think about this plan? Is it going to go over well or not so much? Because I think they would have gotten immediate feedback. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, you would think that these people on the environmental protection, that they would know that nobody's going to like this.
Yeah.
Well, George W. Bush tried this in the early 2000s when he was president with the national parks. And the same thing happened.
Yeah.
The difference was it was like every congressman from across the country who had national parks were like, forget this, and the plan died.
Yeah.
Former Representative Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii, who left the Democratic Party back in 2022, announced that she is endorsing former President Trump. She's become a regular presence in conservative media. She made the announcement during a National Guard Association meeting in Michigan where Trump was speaking. Now, Gabbard is former military, and she claims the Biden administration is bringing the country closer to nuclear war.
You know, first of all, you would hope the person who is playing the role of your opponent in debate prep would be backing your campaign, and that's what Tulsi Gabbard is doing. She's playing Kamala Harris in debate prep for Donald Trump for the upcoming debate. She hasn't been a Democrat for some time now. To me, Tulsi Gabbard is to Republicans what Adam Kinzinger is to Democrats. Like, they just haven't been aligned with their party for quite some time. I don't think it's as impactful as RFK Jr., his endorsement, which could actually move some votes in swing states. But look, if you're Trump, you take it.
Absolutely.
I mean, absolutely. Why not? This was what we saw Democrats do quite a bit during the Democratic convention, rolling out, former Republicans, former Trump administration officials to make the case that, hey, we've got a wide tent here. So, and I think Tulsi Gabbard, not so sure that RFK Jr. would get a. I know they've talked about a position within a potential Trump administration. I'm not sure that happens. Maybe like an ambassadorship.
And he said
like
he's
that.
going to be part of the transition team.
Yeah,
in an
yeah.
interview yesterday, I think, too.
I think Tulsi Gabbard could get a spot, though, in the administration, like a cabinet.
What about RFK
position.
for like Interior Secretary?
Yes, that they
watch
deal
out
with
for the
animals,
bears,
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Keep them away from all of that. All right, what else is going on this morning, Chris?
Ben Sasse will continue to collect millions of dollars from the University of Florida for years to come.
Of course he will.
The former UF president's severance package was made public. It shows he'll get over $1 million a year through 2028 and maybe beyond. Now, he resigned last month as president, but he's continuing with the school as a president emeritus, professor, external advisor to the chairman board of trustees, blah, blah, blah.
What a bunch of nonsense.
And he claims he resigned because of his wife's health. But the Tampa Bay Times reported that it was actually because of a dispute he was having with some of the top board members, and that they left on bad terms. But apparently not too bad, because he's getting a lot of money.
$1 million a year.
To not work. At a job that he was only at for what, a year? A year
Right.
and a half? He wasn't
17
there.
months.
He wasn't there very long.
Yeah.
That's
And you wonder
must be nice.
why, tuition costs as much as it does. All these inflated salaries and all the waste. I mean, we saw what he was doing with his former staffers, how much he was paying them, like almost $500,000 to work remotely, and these trips they were taking on.
Wonder if they're getting a severance package.
Yeah, I mean, just the whole thing is outrageous, and it comes from someone. What makes it even more outrageous is it comes from someone who claimed to be going back into higher education to clean things up.
right. I mean, cleaning is expensive.
And then did this.
Yeah.
Leaves a huge mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing about Ben Sasse is that, he came in from Nebraska, and a lot of people were wondering, well, what's he doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
taking advantage.
getting a lot.
He got a sweet deal.
Getting a lot of money. And here's the thing. He would lose these benefits if he were to take another job.
Yeah.
You think he's looking for a job?
I think he's going to sit on the sidelines for a couple of years. Yeah. I mean,
Sweet deal.
Rough time for the University of Florida. Not as rough as FSU after what we saw this past weekend, but.
Well, okay. But yeah. At least as far as administration goes,
yes,
UF has a lot to work on.
They do. On football, I think both universities have a lot to work on.